I'll try not to be too controversial and pick on anybody, so I'll start with that. I'm very excited to have everybody here today at the grand opening event. This Vehicle Performance Center will provide the capabilities not currently available in Western Canada for vehicle development. This facility will be able to perform precise, repetitive test conditions that are needed to validate design modifications to vehicles or alternate fuel testing that may be considered in the future. This lab is designed to test bare engines as well as engines that are contained in vehicles. So now I'm going to go into the course part. Internal combustion engines today run at about a 33% efficiency. This means that when you want to test something that's got 500 horsepower coming out of the back end of it, you need to worry about manipulating 1,500 horsepower worth of power, which is burnt in the diesel fuel going into it. So in order to do that, you've got to go ahead and handle the other 1,000 horsepower as well as the original 500 horsepower you wanted to test. So what we've done here is we've got the facility set up so that we can absorb the first 500 horsepower of useful work into either the wheels coming up to the back end of a vehicle, like you see the dynamometer wheels in the floor, or the absorbed dynos that you see to the right of me here, which can absorb the power coming out of an engine. Now, when you've got that heat, you've got that 500 horsepower of useful work. That's being collected and cooled by water that we basically send out the building to the tanks outside. We've got a water cooler, cycle it back in to be able to absorb the heat and cycle it back in cool and go through it again. Now the other 500, the second 500 horsepower, all goes out through the exhaust. Now in order to get that out of the building, we've got an air movement system set up across here, which is attached to the exhaust of the vehicle or the engine is tested, and takes the heat straight out to the roof. Now the last bit of heat is the part that it gets real tricky, and what we were going to try to control. The cooling heat or the radiant heat that comes off the block of an engine has to be dissipated. Now here's where we want control. If we want a repeatable test, the test parameters will say what temperature you want to run this test at. Now that's when you start having to add fans. So if you look above us, you can see 5 fans that you can see up here. We've got another 2 fans in the corner, and this allows us to basically exhaust the air through the building and then pass it through a vent network in the front of the building and either mix it with the cooler air from the outside or keep recycling the hot air inside to get to whatever temperature we need. All computer controlled. So the consistency that we can get in running the airstream over the bus passes through at about 5 miles an hour while we're testing it or running any vehicle in the building, and we can do a control test. So any parameters then that you want to go ahead and test in the unit, a subtle change to the cooling system, a different engine, a different fuel. What happens when you take a diesel bus design and you put biodiesel in it? What happens when you use ethanol in a car? All of those subtleties can be changed, and we can run it in a complete vehicle or bare engine testing. So that again, the more direct testing you do, the better control you have, the better results you're going to get. And again, we talked about world-class. We have to run world-class tests to get world-class vehicles, as you can see here. Thank you.